I'm going to show you how to use variables and constants in Swift code. So as you can see, I've been working on a project here. I'll go ahead and under Xcode, I'll go to File, New, Playground. And this will be a blank file. You can just save it as whatever you'd like to. I like to save mine under Developer. Create. Now we have a blank playground here. Before I do anything, I want to show you the numbers here. This indicates the line of the code where it's at. Over here in the top right, you have in the middle there, you can make your debugger, your console appear here. This is where our output goes. Okay, and so you see our first line of code is import UI kit. That's a framework that is used in Swift language, and automatically you'll see a variable, var, that's keyword for variable, string, that's the name of the variable, str, the equal sign is an assignment, and then here you see in quotation marks hello playground. This is what we call a string. So what's happening here, the keyword var is being used, which is a variable. That's how we declare variables in Swift. And the name given is str. Here you can put any name you'd like. I can do hello greeting. We can name our variable hello greeting. And you probably notice the way I'm using this is called camel case. We have the lowercase, and any preceding word we use in uppercase. That's how we name variables. It's standard in Swift and other languages as well. Equals hello playground. Here we can alter this. We can say hello user. Now it's important that the string is encased in quotation marks, otherwise we'll get an error. When I run our code, you can see it automatically. Swift is having a hard time recognizing hello and user, so in order for it to be indicated as a string, we put it in quotation marks. And so we can run our code, and you'll see nothing really is happening here. We don't see anything come out to the console. Here, this is a neat, this sidebar area, this right here, is a way to view our variables and constants and what their values are. But nothing is actually printed out in our console, and I'll show you how to do that. So we've created a variable named hello greeting, and we've assigned it the value of a string that is hello user, exclamation point. We use a function print that's included in this framework. Print is a function that prints out any value into our console. So we can actually, instead of saying print hello user, what we just typed, we can actually just type out our variable name, hello greeting. What do you think is going to happen when we run this? Exactly, we're going to see hello user be printed out into our console here. Now you're probably noticing this blue play button on the side. What I like to do for this is an automatic setting that they set. It's just so that you can select snippets of which code you want to run, but I like to run them automatically. So I'll go down here to where you see the stop button, click and hold, and I like to do automatically run there. It's set in manually run, but I'll do automatically. And it's going to automatically run, and boom. We see our value, hello user, which is a string type. We can talk more about strings and data types later. Hello user is in the console. Now if we want to do some fun stuff with this, because you can see that's pretty there's nothing custom or special about user. What if we want to actually print out the user's name? We can do that using what's called string interpolation. String interpolation is a way to put in variables within our strings. and it's denoted by this syntax. It's a backslash followed by parentheses. String interpolation you can put in within any string, and it allows us to put in variables within our string. Okay. So right now the only variable we have is hello greeting. Let's create a new variable. We can create it up here. This variable will be, we'll call it username. And we can set its value to a string that is Jonathan, which is my name. Perfect. Now, let's say I want to print out hello Jonathan. In order to do that, we use string interpolation. So instead of manually typing in the user's name each time, we can create a variable that stores the user's name, and we can just type in that variable within the string interpolation. So username, and you'll see Swift has a neat function where it auto-populates some things that you might want or need. So you can see it recognized my variable username that I've used before, so I can select that. Perfect. So now our console is customized, much more user-friendly. Hello, Jonathan. So we learned string interpolation, how we can use it within strings, quotation marks here. We've learned variables. We've learned camel case, which is one of the ways to name. It's a convention in Swift to name variables. We've learned the print function, one of the functions that's included within Swift that allows us to print values into our console. So now we'll go over one more thing. We'll talk about constants, and constants are declared using the keyword let. Let's say that there is only one user, and that user is Jonathan, and that value never changes. No one else is going to be using this application. So we can actually create a constant, and constants are like variables, but they're unchangeable, what's called immutable. They cannot be changed. So you see we use the keyword let username. Let, I'm declaring a constant that's named username, and we've assigned it the value of a string, Jonathan. What if we want to change the variable? Or what if we want to change that value? We can't. So if I try to go here, you're noticing that I'm not using var or any keyword there because we've already declared it using let as a constant. But let's say I don't know what app I use, and I just stumbled across this code, and I want to change username to another one. So I can set username equal to Fred. Now you'll see an error pop up down here. Cannot assign to value. Username is a let constant. Change let to var to make it mutable. So constants are neat in that they're unchangeable, and they actually help the programmer from making errors along their code. If they know that there's a value that won't change at all within their code, they can go ahead and just declare it as a constant. So if I were to change this to var for variable, you'll see that this is no problem. So I've declared a variable named username and assigned it the value of Jonathan, but below that, I called up username, the variable that we just declared up here, and I changed its value to Fred. And so you've noticed one of the natures of code is it goes linearly. So we're going down, the computer is reading this going down. It sees username, it's changed from Jonathan to Fred, and so down here we created, remember, a variable hello greeting, and we assigned it the value of a string hello with a string interpolation that is username, which the latest value of that is Fred, because we changed it right there. It will not print out Jonathan, although we did declare it initially with the value of Jonathan. But as you can see down here, we changed it to Fred, so it will give it the value of the latest assignment. Down here, print function, our variable hello greeting, and then down there, our console. So that's just a brief rundown of variables and constants. We talked about the print function, and we've talked about string interpolation, and hopefully this video helped you.